This portion of the Max Level podcast is brought to you by Green Man Gaming. Founded in 2009 as a tiny digital shop, they've grown year after year to become the fastest growing online game store. Their one goal is to bring the magic of video games and the wonder and joy they can bring into as many people's lives as possible. Interested in deep discounts on the latest and greatest games straight from the developers? Head down into the description of this video and click on the Green Man Gaming affiliate link. Doing this will help support Level Down Games and allow us to continue doing what we love, providing quality content on a daily basis. And remember, if you want to hear the Max Level podcast in its uncut entirety at 9 a.m. every Monday morning, be sure to subscribe on either iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. We're going to go ahead and kick it now to our first discussion. If you're watching the video version, you're obviously seeing this on Tuesday. If you're listening to the audio version, then you're hearing it the same day it always goes up. So the way this works, for those that are unfamiliar, I'll just drop this in here now. But if you listen to the audio version on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher every Monday morning at 9 a.m., you hear the entire podcast in its uncut entirety, and it's a lot of fun. If you choose to watch the video version, we do cut it up into multiple parts. So this version you're watching now, this version we're about to talk about, this discussion, you could have heard it a couple days ago had you listened to the audio version on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. So if you want to hear things early, go subscribe to us on whatever your favorite podcast app of choice is. But if you don't care and you just want to keep watching the video version, then keep watching on. But I just figured that we need to start telling everyone how this works, because I don't think we did it once the first week we done it. Well, we should probably at least remind on a weekly basis until it becomes a natural thing. But this here is exciting for me. So our first discussion point of the podcast this week, we may have some BlizzCon leaks to talk about already. Now, BlizzCon is under a month away. We know it's taking place the first weekend of November in Anaheim, California, as it always does. And as we talked about last week on the show, we went over the schedule for BlizzCon 2018. We had good indicators that Diablo is going to be the biggest game announcement that Blizzard has for BlizzCon this year. Reason being, after the opening ceremony concludes, the very next panel to take place on the main stage is Diablo, What's Next? The merchandise store for BlizzCon may have accidentally leaked out, the Blizzard Gear store may have accidentally leaked out what is coming next for Diablo. So they put up something, and a conspicuous subtitle with the name Diablo Reign of Terror was included in the Blizzard Gear store. Blizzard is already denying its existence, saying that it's just nothing and it's just there. But what's interesting is that Reign of Terror included a poster, men's and women's t-shirts, all showing the frightful visage of the series' namesake himself, obviously. A lot of people then started to think that Reign of Terror could be the subtitle of a new game or an expansion to Diablo 3. I'm leaning more towards this being the subtitle of Diablo 4, because I mean, if it was a new expansion, that's cool. I mean, new expansions are always cool for Diablo 3, but I do think that it's time to move into Diablo 4 territory. So I'm curious what this ends up being. How are you feeling on this now, being a much bigger Diablo fan? What are your thoughts on Diablo Reign of Terror?
I guarantee that's going to be the name of the next game. They goofed. It happens. But I love that Blizzard is trying to backpedal. No, nothing to see. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
like the Wizard of Oz.
Exactly. It's okay.
Right.
I love you, Blizzard, and I want my Diablo.
Right.
I love it so much that I actually tried to buy the shirt, but because I don't have the virtual ticket, I can't buy it till the 18th.
Right. Yeah, that's the way that works. So if you have the virtual ticket, you actually get access to the gear store a little bit early.
But I'll throw everybody there. I'm perfectly fine with Reign of Terror being an expansion for 3, and you could announce the 4 is coming and actually tell me, give me a release date or something, anything.
Or just the fact that it's coming, even that would be good enough. Just a trailer or something. You know what I mean?
I'm fine with that. I trust me. I would love to have Diablo 4 by June of next year, but I'm not unrealistic. I take your time. As long as you tell me it's in development, give me a trailer, give me something.
Right.
Because I've been waiting.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Daddy's itching. Last year you had me said, last couple of years you had me said there was nothing Diablo.
No, this is the first time that we're getting something big on Diablo. And like I mentioned there, the main segment after the opening ceremony is always reserved for the biggest thing they have. So anytime that there's a new Warcraft expansion announced, the very next panel is World of Warcraft, what's next. So,
oh, I swear to God, if Diablo's like the next player in Overwatch, I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
No.
I'll kill you, bring you back to life, I'll kill you again.
It's definitely not that. It's just there's too much evidence now pointing to the fact that something Diablo is being announced at BlizzCon. And I'm looking here at the t-shirts that they had that they snapped images of. It's really
like
cool looking.
Shirt, huh?
It actually really does, but it's cool looking. And if you look at the poster, that looks like a new model. So I'm almost willing to bet that this is more. I'm leaning in the Diablo 4 camp as well. I actually don't think there's going to be anything announced for Diablo 3. We already know that Diablo 3 is coming to Nintendo Switch, so I don't know.
And we just got Diablo news that it's not Diablo 3 is not going to go cross-platform,
right?
On PS4, yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, that's okay. I mean, you know, the Sony execs did say that not every game would be cross-platform. I mean, obviously Fortnite is, and I'm sure Fallout will be at some point, but not every game was going to include the ability for cross-platform play. If this is Diablo 4, though, I'm definitely curious to see where they take the franchise next. But what I'm more looking forward to is if there will be any other BlizzCon leaks before BlizzCon gets here. So every time, obviously, there's a convention or something like this happens, there's always leaks. It's inevitable. I mean, things happen. But I'm curious because I don't know really what else there could be to leak from BlizzCon this year besides a new Diablo, because we already know, you know, nothing big for World of Warcraft is going to get announced. I mean, they already talked about patch 8.1. So? No, they already talked about 8.1. We already know what's coming. It's already on the PTR. We know exactly what's going to be in it. They could give us a slight tease for what's going to be in 8.2, but that all depends on if 8.1 is close to releasing or not. They're not going to give us what's coming in 8.2 before they actually give us what's in 8.1. So they always, after they release a new patch, they always will then wait like a week or two, and then they start kind of giving teases or hints on what's coming next. So they always, what'd you figure out?
I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to be the one to call it. New StarCraft. I went there.
No. There's only one StarCraft panel this week, and it's in the middle of the day on Saturday.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's right. There is only one.
Yeah, there's only one StarCraft panel this week. It's in the middle of the day on the second day, so there's no way. There's nothing big on StarCraft this year. The only reason they're having a panel is to satisfy fans of the franchise. They have nothing to talk about for StarCraft, and I don't think they will for a couple of years now. I think StarCraft
Lost Vikings remastered.
I think StarCraft is going to be getting the Diablo treatment for BlizzCon for the next couple of years, just because they're not focusing on that franchise at the moment. They're focusing on Diablo and Warcraft now. So
let's do Diablo. We can come back around to StarCraft. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's just I don't want there to be too many other leaks for BlizzCon because I do like being surprised. But,
exactly.
But I am definitely excited to see whatever Diablo Reign of Terror ends up being. Now obviously, like,
live action movie.
please don't. If it
starring The Rock
as Diablo. If they ever do a live action movie for Diablo, I really just hope it's the Blizzard cinematic department that handles the movie. Much like if they ever do a sequel to the Warcraft movie. They're the best of the best in the industry. But if there ever is a sequel to the Warcraft movie, I kind of just want it to be all cinematic from the Blizzard team instead of being live action like it was before, because that wasn't that good. I mean, it was a good movie, but I feel like the cinematic department for Blizzard would have actually made a better movie. What do you want from Diablo 4?
Honestly, more of the same is fine by me, but I want more customization on races. Like, I don't want there just to be the standard like 4 or 5.
Okay.
I would like to go like crossbreed.
Okay. So like be able to like kind of like say like if I wanted to choose this race and mix it with this race, what it looked like, kind of a thing.
Like if I wanted to be like an assassin witch doctor, or
you're talking classes then. Okay.
I guess subclasses would be cool.
Okay. So you're talking individual different classes Because Diablo 3 had...
I didn't like the auction house all that much last time. I felt it was...
They took it out, though. They took it out.
Yeah, because it was... That's the part that pissed me off, because they exploited the game. So.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll make that mistake again. I mean, obviously, they left the real money auction house in there for quite a while, and then they ended up taking it out just because they realized what a mistake that it actually was. I don't think they'll make that same mistake again. Now, there might be something to where... there might be the ability to trade and still sell your weapons, but it would be for in-game currency, much like it is in other games. But I don't think they'll ever bring back the real money auction house again. I think that was a mistake that they'll never repeat. I'm kind of hoping for something different, in all honesty, from Diablo 4.
What are you looking for then? Like, what would you think?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I've played through Diablo 1, 2, and 3, and they've all just felt like slight advancements on top of one another. Like, Diablo 2 is better than Diablo 1. Diablo 3 is debatable if it's better than Diablo 2, but Diablo 3 is still a decent game. But they all, they all center around the same mechanics, the same world, the same everything. I kind of want something different. And I don't know if that would be just like, Diablo wreaking havoc and maybe creating a new, or destroying everything and creating a new world, or completely reinventing the franchise and taking it in a new direction. I don't know. I think it would be interesting if they did something like that. Like I'm guaranteeing you.
Diablo.
No, it'll still have that isometric feel to it. It'll still be top-down isometric. It's still going to be Diablo. It's going to be what Diablo is.
I wouldn't mind a shift in era, like some kind of like time travel.
That's what I'm talking about. I just want something different. Like I want, whether it's more in the past, whether it's slightly in the future, I don't care. I just want something a little bit different now. And I'm kind of hoping that's what we get with Diablo 4, which I'm trying to think what Reign of Terror could actually mean. Now, Reign of Terror to me sounds a lot like Cataclysm, which is what Blizzard did with World of Warcraft when they completely changed the world. So I'm trying to draw similarities between the two names to where, is Reign of Terror going to be the Cataclysm type of thing for Diablo that it was for World of Warcraft, when the entire leveling experience from 1 to 60 was completely changed. All the old zones were completely changed with new things. Obviously, Diablo is not an MMO, so they can't go in and do that. But they could remake the world. They could either change the zones, still give us the same era or time period, but have it be completely a new section of the world or new zones. Or, like you mentioned, we change the time period. I wonder if that's what Reign of Terror actually means. I don't know.
That would be neat. I like that.
It would be.
Wrong with that.
It would be, but that's the only thing that comes to mind when I think of that.
I guess I'm about to keep my eyes peeled for BlizzCon.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, I will mention it now. We will be doing a reaction video to, well, I don't know if it'll be because I think you might be at work when the actual the opening ceremony kicks off. I think it's at like 2 p.m. on a Friday, so I know you're at work.
Which means I'll have to just watch your reaction.
But I will record my reaction to the opening ceremony and get that up on the YouTube channel ASAP after it ends, and stands for as soon as possible. But as soon as it's over, and we will run with that. And I'm sure there will be more than just Diablo announced. They always have a couple things. I mean, we'll get teases of other things coming from other games, but this should be the biggest thing. So we'll have to see what it ends up being. Thanks for checking out a portion of the Max Level Podcast. If you enjoyed what you just watched, be sure to click that subscribe button, leave a like, and drop a comment down below. If you're interested in checking out the Max Level Podcast in its uncut entirety at 9 a.m. every Monday morning, be sure to subscribe on either iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. We'll see you next time.